Hi Sun students and families, Miss Jules here. I'm back for another Nature and Me Saturday video. So today what we're going to be talking about is two different things that you might not think are related or connected at all, but they actually are, and that is weather and our feelings and emotions. So we can think about different kinds of weather, like sunny weather, rainy weather, snowy, windy, cold, cloudy, warm, hot, humid, stormy. There's so many different ones. And let's also think about different feelings we have, different emotions we have, like happiness, sadness, anger, excitedness, and maybe being scared or feeling brave or feeling very calm and peaceful. So what I want to talk about with you today, now what I want you to do first, I have all of my papers here that you will have gotten in your last kits. So you should have 3 different ones for this week's Nature and Me class. Let me show you what they are. First, you'll have this worksheet that says, "What's the weather?" Secondly, you'll have this paper that says weather wheel at the top. And lastly, you'll find one of these that says my 5-day forecast. So what we're going to talk about first is this first one called What's the Weather? Now, when you think about, pick any weather pattern or any kind of weather that you like. It could be sunny, rainy, cloudy, and what does that weather remind you of? What's a feeling that reminds you of? For example, I'm gonna say sunny weather makes me think of happiness and brightness and being full of energy. Now, if I were going to pick one of my feelings or emotions, like let's say anger, when I'm feeling angry, what kind of weather reminds me of feeling angry? I don't really think sunny weather makes me think of being angry. And maybe not even rainy weather. I'm thinking stormy weather, like when the sky gets really dark and you maybe start to hear some thunder. That makes me think of how I feel when I feel angry or upset or frustrated. So I want you to take a couple minutes or a couple seconds, you can pause this video if you want to just think about your different feelings: happy, sad, angry, frustrated, excited, scared, calm, sleepy, tired. And then think about what kind of weather do each of those feelings feel like. So I'm going to turn my camera around and show you our What's the Weather paper. I have my other supplies that we're going to need for this class out, but I forgot my nifty pen. Just let me grab that real quick. Now, this says, if your feelings were different kinds of weather, which ones would they be? What kind of weather would happy be? What about sad or stormy? Write which feeling matches each kind of weather. There are no right answers. You may write or draw whatever feels right to you. So I'm going to go through mine, and I want you all to you can sit and listen, you can grab your own paper and work on yours. That's up to you. Okay, what feeling matches sunny? I think for me, I would say when I feel happy, bright, full of energy. Cloudy. What feeling reminds me of it being cloudy? Ooh, I would definitely say when I'm feeling tired, low on energy, And maybe, this is kind of a big word, unmotivated. That means I don't really feel like doing anything. There are things maybe I should get done, but I'm just having a hard time getting up the energy to do them. Maybe I kind of just want to sit on the couch. Stormy. Ooh, this one we talked about already. That definitely reminds me of when I feel angry. It feels stormy inside of my brain, inside of my body sometimes. And maybe even a little bit scared, or another bigger word, overwhelmed. When I feel like a lot's happening around me and I feel a little bit scared and uneasy and anxious and like there's so much it's hard to feel calm, I would say that reminds me of stormy weather. Now let's look at rainy. Ooh, what feelings? Maybe I'd say a little bit sad, but sometimes not so much sad. Sometimes when I feel really calm, it reminds me of rain. I think about the pitter patter of raindrops on the roof or on my window, and sometimes that makes me feel calm. Ooh, snowy. To me, when I look at snow and when I'm out in the snow, I'm always so surprised at how quiet it is and how peaceful it is. So I think snowy weather also reminds me of feeling peaceful or calm or just quiet sometimes when I want to be alone. Windy. Ooh, I would definitely say this weather reminds me of being excited or really, really impatient. Excited or ready for something. It feels like something's happening, something's changing when it's windy. Now, I want you to fill out anything that you feel. It could be totally different from mine. Maybe when you're sad, you sort of think of sunny weather, or maybe when it's snowy, that reminds you of feeling very angry and cold. It can be anything. No right answers. Whatever you feel is right. Now at the bottom, I've written, can you come up with any more kinds of weather and which feelings they remind you of? So it could be, you could do, instead of maybe the kind of weather, you could do the temperature of the weather, like cold, hot, just warm. Anything you want. And then go ahead and write what your feelings and emotions are that feel like that kind of weather. Now, once you've decided what each of your weather and feelings mean to you, I want you to set that next to you because you're going to need it to look at it. We'll turn our camera a little bit. And then let's look at our weather wheel. Now this is going to be really fun. It's something we're going to cut out and do a little small craft with. But what I want you to do first, you don't have to color it, but if you want to color it, I suggest doing that first because it's going to be a little bit harder to color it once it's cut out. I am just going to color a little bit. I won't do all of it, but while I color, I'll tell you what you're going to do. You are going to take your first worksheet where you decided what each of your feelings looks like if they were weather. And I want you to use this little wheel as a way each day that you want to show what your weather or what your feelings are like today. So, you know how sometimes in the morning you get up, maybe you look out the window or you ask one of your parents or someone in your family, hey, what's the weather today? Or is it hot today? Is it cold today? you're trying to figure out exactly what the weather looks like, what it feels like, maybe what you need to wear for the day, and that helps you be prepared for anything that might happen. Now, the cool thing about a weather and feelings wheel is that we can do the same thing, but instead of it being what the weather is outside, it's about what your weather is inside your body today, how you're feeling today. So I just colored my little snowy piece of pie here. Now, you can color in all of it if you want to. I'll probably do that after the video. And then you're gonna need some scissors. Remember, you do not have to cut this perfectly. This is yours to do with exactly what you want. Okay, so once you have cut that out, let's move this so we don't get mixed up on what we're working on here. Then you'll have a circle like this. Next, there are also directions here on your paper. If you stop this video and do this project later and you still need reminders or can't quite remember what I told you to do, again, I'm not going to cut this perfectly. Okay, now you're going to have something like this and this. Now you see here it says cut here. Now one way to do this, you want to watch your fingers and make sure you can fold it over like this, hold it down at the bottom, and make a little cut. Be very careful not to cut your fingers. Then do your best to cut out this kind of triangle, sort of piece of pizza looking shape. Again, watch your fingers. It's easy to get them caught in there. Now you don't need this anymore. Now it looks like this. See? Lastly, in your little bag, your little Ziploc plastic bag that Miss Daisy for your magical art and science class gave you, you should have some food coloring and different supplies in that little bag in your kit. You'll also find one of these. These are little brass fasteners, or some people call them brads. And what you're going to do with this is you're going to put it right here and through this black dot. Again, this is a little tricky to do. You might want to ask an adult for help. That way, if you rip it, you don't have to tape it back together. If you do rip it, trust me, it's not too hard to tape back together. So when you stick that through, again, be careful of your fingers, it's a little sharp. Then you're going to stick it through this black dot in the center. I do recommend, if you want some help, definitely ask for it. All right, now it's through both of our pieces of paper, and now we can turn it over, and you'll see there it kind of has two little legs. And with those legs, you're just going to fold them over and kind of push them down so they lay flat on your paper. Now, you might have to work it. It might be a little too tight, so you might have to move it a little bit. Now, with this, you're going, oh, Miss Jules didn't exactly do it quite loose enough. You might have to mess around with it a little bit. Now, you should be able to turn your paper, to turn your weather wheel all the way around. Oof, this is definitely tricky. This is a good reminder that even teachers sometimes have a hard time. You might have to make your hole a little bit bigger. That might help help you turn it a little. All right, let's see if this is any better. There, that's definitely better. So now you're going to be able to turn your piece of pizza to show what today's weather is. Now remember, for this project, we're not thinking about the weather outside. We're thinking about the weather inside our hearts and minds and bodies, where our emotions live, because they live in our bodies. So what you can do, if you want to be able to tell people that you spend time with, like your family and people you live with, if you want to be able to show them exactly sort of how you're feeling each day, maybe sometimes it's really hard to describe, sometimes it's hard to explain to people how we're feeling. What you can do is put this list up somewhere, maybe on your fridge, on your door, or on your dresser or your bed, even each day. And then you can put this cool weather wheel right next to it. And each day, or even in the morning, and then if maybe you feel really different later in the day, you can do it again another time. You can just turn your piece of pie onto whichever weather you're feeling like. So maybe for me, today I'm feeling very peaceful and calm. So I'm going to turn my weather wheel so it shows that today's weather, I'm feeling snowy. And then someone around me can look and see, what does snowy mean for Miss Jules? It means she's feeling peaceful, calm, and quiet, and likes to be alone. If I was feeling really angry, I could change it to stormy, or if I was feeling super happy, I could change it to sunny. So this is a really cool way to be able to communicate or tell people around us how we're feeling, especially if we're having a hard time telling them with our words. So this is a super fun craft. I really like it. I can't wait to use it. I hope all of you like it. And I want to hear and see pictures of your finished wheels. I want to see how you color them too. And I want to know what feelings and emotions that you connect with the weather to. All right, so that is our project for this video. Now, the last thing I want to talk to you about, I'm going to move you up here a little bit. Hello again. Is this last paper we have, my 5-day forecast. So when we see people who tell us about the weather on the news, those people are called meteorologists. And what meteorologists do is they look at the science of weather and they look at patterns. Weather is all about patterns. For example, like a rainbow always comes out when it rains and is sunny at the same time. That's a pattern. And when we look at patterns of weather, we can make predictions for the future. Meteorologists do that and they tell us what they think the weather's going to be like this week. They make weather predictions or they make a forecast. So what I want us to do is think about the patterns and try to predict our feelings. So what I mean by that is one thing I can make a prediction about is I know if I don't sleep well, if I have a really hard time going to sleep, then I know the next day I usually feel a little bit grumpy and a little bit crabby. Sometimes I even get more angry easily. So one prediction I could make is if I don't get enough sleep, I might be a little grumpier. And knowing that, making that prediction and thinking ahead, just like we do when we look outside and try to predict if we're going to need a heavy jacket or a light jacket according to the weather, I can predict if I don't get enough sleep, I might be grumpy, so maybe tomorrow isn't a good day to see this friend or do this thing. That might be kind of hard if I'm really grumpy. Another one I could say is I know when I go outside that it makes me really happy. So a prediction I could make is if I was feeling kind of low on energy today and I want to feel more energized and be happier tomorrow. Maybe I should spend some time outside. So it's sometimes what we can do is look at the patterns of our emotions and why maybe we feel a certain way, or things that we do like sleep really badly or go outside that make an impact or make a difference, or make us feel certain emotions. When we can see that and understand that, then we can prepare ahead of time and know, hey, I might feel this way and it might be a good day to do this or not do this. And that helps us feel better and be better friends and family members, and also take care of ourselves and our emotions and how we're feeling. So all that being said, you can go ahead and grab your 5-day forecast worksheet, and you, up here it says meteorologist, you can write your name. I'm gonna write Miss Jules. Now you don't have to pick one of these weather patterns that you wrote down earlier on your other paper. You can add more if you want to. These are just ideas. It says my weather predictions for the week. So I might say on Monday, I have a big test at school and I don't want to feel super low on energy. So maybe on Sunday, I should get good sleep, because on Monday, I'll want to be sunny and full of energy. I could also draw this picture if I want to, instead of write that. Now on Tuesday, it's going to be a day that I get to go outside. So I'm guessing I'm going to feel sunny again. On Wednesday, it's really, really busy day for me. I have a lot of things going on, and I might feel a little cloudy on Wednesday because I'm going to be feeling a little overwhelmed, a lot of things I have to get done. On Thursday, I think once I have everything done from Wednesday, I might be feeling more peaceful and calm. Might be feeling really snowy. And then on Friday, I love Fridays. They're so exciting because I get to see my friends sometimes on the computer virtually and say hi to them. So I'm going to say I'm going to predict or guess that I'm going to be feeling sunny on Friday. Now, when your week is over, after you make your predictions for how you think you're going to feel this week, it says the weather for the week. This is where you're going to write what actually happened that day. How did you actually feel? What was your weather that day? So when the week is over, you can look back and say, and if it's hard for you to remember the whole week, each day you can write down, what weather was I actually feeling today? And that will help you keep track. And then you can go back and compare or look at what's the same and what's different from your two different charts. You can say, were my predictions correct or was I wrong? Were there things that came up that I didn't expect? And that can maybe help you plan your weather forecast for the week after that. So those are it. Those are your projects and papers and crafts for this week's Nature and Me class. I really hope you enjoyed it. I hope that you like this idea and this kind of way that we think of thinking of our feelings as weather. What's the weather in me today? I really, really, really want to see pictures of all of your papers and weather wheels and your coloring and what emotions you feel like connect you to what weather. And I would love for you to comment below on the video or have an adult help you comment and say what you liked, maybe what you didn't like so much, what you want to see on another Nature and Me video. And the last thing is, don't forget, you'll get your name entered into a drawing and you can win a Sun goodie bag if you do one of those comments or post a picture. So I can't wait to see you all next week. I hope you enjoyed this Nature and Me class, and I hope you all have very fun weather weeks inside of yourself and also outside. Maybe it will snow some more outside. I hope so. Okay, bye everyone.